So, hello guys. Uh, Good evening to one and all present. And we also give a warm welcome to our speaker, Mr. Anant Gupta. So, on start of the introduction, I'd like to say a few things that taking risk and making choices is what makes life so exciting. A famous quote by Army Poehler, but it is made too true by a lawyer turned entrepreneur, Mr. Anant Gupta. Mr. Anant Gupta is currently the CEO and co-founder of Memo Pundits, India's first mooting school, and also heads a trekking startup called Infinite Detours. Mr. Anand Gupta's life has been a roller coaster ride, starting from joining law as a career, having no other backups, to getting to be part of the banking team of Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas and Code Daily, to becoming a full fledged entrepreneur. When nobody even takes a chance to leave a average salary job, Mr. Anand left a job at SAM earning a 7-digit amount a month. So, with so much experience in his bag, it is our pleasure for JLSR and Legal Fumes to have you on board, sir. Thanks, sir, for joining us, and we would like to have your preface too.
Thank you so much. Uh, I really am thankful to Legal Fumes and JLSR Journal for inviting me over. And thank you so much, everyone, whoever has joined, whoever has taken out their time to learn something new today. First of all, congratulations to you because you are the kind of people who will be better off than your peers, than your friends. People who are always looking forward to learn something new every day, improve every day. You guys are going to go ahead, not someone who's lazy and laid back at home and doing nothing. Um, okay, so today's webinar is basically on how, basically, I'll give you a perspective of how you can get a tier one internship and then a tier one job. First of all, at the very outset, guys, let me tell you one thing. Getting a tier one job and staying happy in a tier one life is sort of a mirage. And but what is meant by a mirage is that you feel that something is true, but it's not. Because the life in a tier one law firm is not as celebrated as we see it out from outside of that firm. Just like a lot of you present here, I was also a first generation lawyer. I had absolutely no jugards. I had no backings from my family. I'm from a middle class family. I went to NLU Odisha, which at that time was a low ranking NLU, if not a mid tier NLU. Um, and we were the third batch. So honestly, just like a lot of you, I did not have much idea on what to do, how to do. The maximum what we could think of is to listen to our seniors, to listen to our faculty members, and then do as we like. But I think around third, fourth year, I heard the name of Amarchand Mangaldas, and I thought that okay, since it's the supposedly the best law firm in India, pays you a good amount. The starting salary at that time was 15 lakhs a year. So just like a lot of you, I was very excited. I was so thrilled by this tier one law firm and other law firms that I just like my only wish in life around that time was that I get into a law firm like Amarchand Mangaldas. But guys, again, I'm going to tell you that the amount of hard work which is involved is very high. Secondly, once you get into a law firm, it's not the life is going to be very hectic. I'm sure if you would have interned or met someone from a tier one law firm, the work pressure is too high and there is almost no work-life balance. I have 50, 60 friends working in tier one law firms right now. I absolutely, agree with them when they say that they have no time for themselves. They're earning a lot of money, but where do they spend it? So anyway, those were some of the reasons why I left my job in 2018. But again, like a lot of you might want to go to a law firm, and I don't mean to discourage you. What I'm here today to do is to act, in fact, encourage you and tell you ways on how you can sort of get into a law firm. Okay, so throughout the webinar, I'm going to be asking a couple of questions to all of you, and I would like it if you can use the chat box to answer whatever I'm asking. So let's begin. Basically, getting a PPO in a law firm begins, all of that begins from an internship. That's the grassroots level which you have to focus on. अगर आपको लग रहा है कि मुझे PPO चाहिए, तो the first thing which you should be thinking about is how you can excel at doing internships, right? And internships करने के बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छे reasons भी होते हैं. It's not just, see, the output of, like, the end goal of doing internships may be that you get a PPO, but that shouldn't be your starting goal. Your starting goal should be to learn aspects of law. It could be something like you want to get expertise in an area, or you want to explore options, because internships are a good way to explore, let's say, 2-3 law firms, or 2-3 areas like litigation, law firms, and all of that. Right? So internships are very important. I've been to a lot of law schools where students don't do internships that often, and I'm quite surprised sometimes as to why that culture is building in that particular college. Uh, and I guess a few ways in which NLUs differentiate from other colleges is that internships are, the importance on internships is very, very high. Although a lot of people, a lot of times, they ask me what is the difference between a student who studied from an NLU and somebody who's not. And I, most of the times, I don't have an answer, because clear cut, in terms of the teaching, there is no such difference. I did not feel like we had the best of the faculties. In terms of infrastructure, in fact, private law schools have better infrastructure a lot of times. In terms of other facilities, of course, it can't be said for sure that NLUs excel at that too. So what I'm trying to say is that these are the kinds of things which a non-NLU student should imbibe from NLUs, which is basically doing enough internships. Now, I want to ask a question to all of you. Think and answer. What is the ideal number of internships you should do in 1 year? You can use the chat box. Okay. So a lot of us have said 2. Now I want to ask, how many months of holidays do you get in your law school in 1 year, including summer holidays and winter holidays? Okay. So a lot of you have written 2 months, a lot of you have written 3-4 months, right? See, the thing is, अगर आपको 4 महीने मिल रहे हैं free, then you have to do 4 internships. Ideally, the number of internships one should do in a year is not 2, is not 3, is 4. But it's not an absolute number. ऐसा भी मत समझो कि 4 तुमने नहीं की तो फिर तुम कुछ नहीं कर पाओगे जिंदगी में, right? Because in fact there was a summer of 2013 or 14, I don't remember exactly, in which I did not do any internships because I was just too I had a major burnout from all the academic activities and the moot court competitions which I was doing, and I just wanted to relax for some time. So, but the ideal number of internships, if you have time, if you have energy, if you have time to spare, then it should be around 3 to 4. That's one. The second is, that's basically a little bit about, how do we start thinking about internships? How do we start to change our perspectives about internships. Then, what do you think is the most important part of the application process when you apply for an internship? Exactly. So, Akshit Gupta, you're absolutely correct. You need to have a solid CV. When we say solid CV, it simply means a CV which, first of all, does not look like the remaining tens and 20,000 CVs which come for an internship, but it should stand out, right? Now, tell me, since this entire session is about tier one law firms, my next question is: Do you can you guess the number of applications for internships which an HR of a tier one law firm receives for a summer internship? Akshit has written 3, Nupur has written 500, more than 5,000, 1,500. Yeah. So why I'm asking these questions is to change your perspective so that you can start to erase the misconceptions which you have in mind. The number of internship applications is around 1 to 2,000. So you have like your chances of getting an internship are really low if you send a CV which looks bad, which has bad formatting, which has absolutely no real content, which is very long, unnecessarily long, more than 2 pages. It's not essential. Like any CV in the world should be under 2 pages, especially for law students, right? So I'm asking these questions so that you understand what you are competing against. Right now, let's suppose you send in a CV with a cover letter, right? In fact, I'm going to send a file here which will help all of you. Just a second. Huh. So I've sent a file here. Oh, this went to legal fields. Just a second. Go through this file. This file will tell you how to create a cover letter and how to create a CV. जो सीवी का फॉर्मेट आप और आपके दोस्त और आपके सीनियर्स और आपके जूनियर्स सालों सालों से चलाते आ रहे हैं, आई वुड आइडियली रिक्वेस्ट यू नॉट टू यूज दैट, बिकॉज एचआर के पास जब इतने सारे सीवीज आते हैं तो माय नेक्स्ट नाउ आई कम टू माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. What do you think is the average amount of time, कितने मिनट या कितने सेकंड्स एचआर आपके सीवी पे देखता होगा? Okay, so 99% of you are wrong, and that's very reasonable. हमें गलत लगती हैं ये सारी चीजें. मुझे भी at a point of time ऐसा लगता था कि 10 मिनट तो देता ही होगा. अरे बट थिंक अबाउट इट यार, 2,000 CVs. They have to sort out every internship break every year after year, right? Swanit, shortlisting of CV can be done by technology, but that technology is not present everywhere, right? So you can't sort of only rely on the AI softwares which are there these days in these big law firms. But nevertheless, 10 minutes absolutely not, 5 minutes absolutely not. अगर आप अभी के अभी अपने फोन पे गूगल करके देखोगे average time spent by HR on CV, it is 6 seconds. 6 seconds, right? Or the closest which anybody could answer was 10 seconds, but even that is not the reality. So guys, I want to change your perspective today. I want to change how you think, so that at least the 98, 99 of you are better off than your friends who could not join us today, right? So I want all of you to go through the file which I have sent, ताकि आपका CV अगर कोई random HR 6 सेकंड के लिए देखे, तो you can be sure that your CV would not look bad, right? So I'll be going through a couple of do's and don'ts of CV making. Uh, First of all, minimum slash maximum number of pages. Guys, minimum number of pages is one. अगर आप एक पेज का CV बना सकते हो तो it's absolutely fine. पूजा अर्चना, मैंने फाइल जो है थोड़ा ऊपर भेज रखी है, you can have a look at it. आप चैट बॉक्स में थोड़ा ऊपर जाके देख लोगे तो आपको मिल जाएगी. मिनिमम मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ पेजेस, मिनिमम 1, मैक्सिमम 2. 3 पेजेस का आपका सीवी है, नो इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल, बिकॉज आप इतने आपके अचीवमेंट्स अगर हैं तो यू हैव टू शॉर्टन देम, यू हैव टू रिमूव सम अचीवमेंट्स, बट योर सीवी कैन नॉट गो बियॉन्ड 2 पेजेस, राइट? कभी कभार तो मैंने एचआरस को देखा हुआ है कि 3 पेज का सीवी होता है, तो कभी कभार दैट इज देयर शॉर्टलिस्टिंग क्राइटेरिया कि अगर 2 पेज से ज्यादा है रिजेक्ट करो, बिकॉज इट मेक्स लाइफ इजी फॉर देम. अगर 3 पेजेस का है सो यू कैन गेट द, हाँ, सो इट्स नॉट, it's very easy for the HR to do it, right? Okay, so now we come to credibility of achievements. आपके CV पे अगर लिखा हुआ है कि first thing which you have written is, let's say that I have done an internship in under a district court advocate, ठीक है? And the next thing which you have written is I have done an internship in a tier 1 firm. Technically आप हमेशा डेट वाइज लिखते हो ये सारी चीजें, बट अगर आप चाहो तो यू कैन ऑल्सो लिस्ट थिंग्स इन योर सीवी अकॉर्डिंग टू द क्रेडिबिलिटी ऑफ योर अचीवमेंट. नाउ लेट्स से, I'll tell you my case. In my first and second year, I had written about 3 to 4 research papers, and I had done only 1 or 2 moots. So around that time, in my CV, what used to come first was research papers and then moot court competitions. Why? Because moot court competitions के मेरे जो achievements थे वो इतने credible नहीं थे as compared to the research paper achievements. But things changed. In my 3rd and 4th year, my moot court competitions went high. I started winning moot court competitions. Research papers मैंने थोड़ा कम कर दिया लिखना. So accordingly I changed कि मैंने moot court competitions ऊपर लिखना चालू कर दिया और research papers नीचे. So what I'm trying to mention here is that you should try to think about the placement of things in your CV. Then formatting of your CV is very, very, very important. अगर आपको बेसिक फॉर्मेट चाहिए, टाइम्स न्यू रोमन 12 या फिर 11 में आप अपना सीवी बनाओ विद लाइन स्पेसिंग 1 या 1.5, राइट? बट अगर आप कैलिब्री में, कैम्ब्रिया में, एरियल में बना रहे हो और कहीं पे आपका फॉन्ट स्पेसिंग कुछ है, कहीं पे कुछ और है, लाइन स्पेसिंग बहुत अजीब सी हो रखी है हर जगह, इट गिव्स अ वेरी वेरी बैड impression on the HR. So ये छोटी छोटी चीजें होती हैं which you have to focus on to get the big reward, right? So one of the most important small things is that you have to focus a lot on your formatting, right? Formatting, drafting, these are some skills which are going to help you throughout your life. These are some of the most essential skills for lawyers, and in fact that's what we try to teach through my organization Memo Pundits. We teach the art of drafting, editing and formatting. We also teach that in respect of memorial making, but otherwise too, right? That's one. Uniformity, formatting, all of these things have to be taken care of. Now tell me guys, do you think it's okay to write references in your CV? Okay, so font size, if you want the simplest CV, font should be Times New Roman, font size should be 12 or 11, line spacing should be 1 or 1.5. Okay, so a lot of you have written no to my answer to my question, which is आपको references लिखने चाहिए या नहीं. Guys, references legal field में, law field में they are not that useful. Actually ये concept हमने import किया है IT इंडस्ट्री से और बाकी MNC की जितनी भी इंडस्ट्रीज रहती हैं उनसे, क्योंकि उनके यहाँ पे जो CVs होते हैं उसमें जो references होते हैं that is of their previous employer. So before employing anybody, a lot of times HRs call those references to see if this person has actually worked with them or not. Because the law field is so compact, it's not as diverse, as big as let's say the IT field, as the engineering field. हमें इसकी जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है. There is hardly any HR in our law field जो कभी reference को call करके पूछेगी या or would do anything about that reference. कभी कभार हमें लगता है कि हम कोई बड़ा नाम लिख देंगे references में तो शायद सामने वाला impress हो जाए. Well, it may or may not happen, but अगर आप references लिखना चाहते हो at the cost of writing something else जो आ सकता था वहाँ पे, and which could have been more important. For example, आप एक अपनी पूरी internship sacrifice कर रहे हो लिखना अपने CV में just because you can so that you can write references, then that is not justified at all. Only write references when you have nothing more to write in your CV and you still have some page limit left out of those 2 pages which you have to fill. ठीक है. Now tell me, ऐसा भी होता है कभी कभार हमारे कुछ over ambitious, over hard working friends होते हैं जिनको देख के हम कभी कभार इंटिमिडेट हो जाते हैं, जिन्होंने 1 साल में ही 10 इंटर्नशिप्स कर ली हो और 2-3 साल में 20-25 रिसर्च पेपर्स लिख लिए हो. बट first of all, never get intimidated by all of these people. For them, it's good. Whatever they're doing is very good, but it's not something जिसकी वजह से आपको down feel करना चाहिए. I'll tell you why. Because they cannot write all of that in their CV. They also need to, and this goes out to anyone who has a lot of things to choose from. You have to limit the number of research papers, internships, moot court competitions which you want to write. Only choose the most important key. हम लिखते हैं KEY, key internships लिखते हैं हम, जब हमें out of our 15-20 internships हमें 5 लिखनी होती हैं, right? So बहुत बार हमें लगता है quantity matters, but quality ultimately matters more. Quantity may matter with 1 or 2% of the public. कभी ऐसा हो सकता है कि कोई ऐसा एम्प्लॉयर हो जो क्वांटिटी देख के बहुत ज़्यादा इम्प्रेस हो जाए, but most of the times it's always going to be like it's most of the times going to be quality over quantity. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next topic. The next topic is basically, how many of you are from the first year? Can you say yes or no? Sorry, if you are from the first year, just write yes. Okay, so quite a few of you are from your first year and probably कुछ होंगे जो second year से होंगे. और बहुत बार हमें apprehension होता है as first year students that what am I going to write in my CV? That's a big question, and even I had that question. Fortunately, around that time, I got help from some of my seniors, from my sister who's elder to me. So she guided me ki what exactly should be my perspective. Basically, guys, जब आप फर्स्ट ईयर में होते हो, आपको ऐसा लगता है कि आपके पास तो सीवी में लिखने के लिए कुछ है ही नहीं, बट आपके किसी भी फर्स्ट ईयर के दोस्त, किसी भी कंपेटिटर के पास भी कुछ नहीं होगा लिखने के लिए, राइट? सो ऑल यू हैव टू डू इज नॉट वरी सो मच. आपको क्या लिखना चाहिए? आपको अपने स्कूल के अचीवमेंट्स लिखने चाहिए और ऐसी स्किल्स हाईलाइट करवा देनी चाहिए अपने सीवी में जो कि उस इंटर्नशिप के लिए अच्छी हो सकती है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ यू आर ट्राइंग टू अप्लाई फॉर एन इंटर्नशिप इन लेट्स से एन एनजीओ, राइट? सो एनी काइंड ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस जो आपने स्कूल में लिया हो, जिसमें आपने लेट्स से अपने किसी स्कूल के बैंड में you were in present in your school's music band, or let's say you were present in your school's football team. All of these skills show team effort, right? And that's a very, very important thing for any employer or HR, right? So don't hesitate to write the achievements from your school. ठीक है, so मैंने भी जैसे अपने स्कूल के, so I'll share the screen if it's possible. Just a second. हाँ, not sure if you guys can see it. This is the CV which I had when I was in my first year. I started off with my name, mobile, blah blah blah. Objective, some I don't know, some copy pasted objective was here. Education, of course, आपके 10th 12th के marks तो जाने ही जाने हैं. उस time पे मेरे पास कोई भी first semester का result नहीं था, so I did not write anything. Then I just started with my co-curricular activities, and that's all what I had in my CV, right? And with this CV, I was able to get the the second best internship, which was at that point of time, which was there in NGOs. NGOs there used to be a ranking. I don't know if it's still around or not. The first one used to be some organization called HRLN. The second organization used to be called PILSAR, PILSARC, which is no more running. That was the organization which I was interning with. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is कि आपको क्या क्या लिखना है अपने CV में, आपको अपने स्कूल के अचीवमेंट्स लिखने हैं if you are in your first year. And similarly जैसे जैसे आपके अचीवमेंट्स बढ़ते जाएंगे, अपने स्कूल के हटाते जाओगे और अपने कॉलेज के लिखते जाओगे, right? Okay. So now a very important question, which is basically आप internships जब करते हो तो what should be your sort of just a second. What should be sort of your aim कि first year में कैसी करो, second year में कैसी करो, third year में कैसी करो. So technically first year you should not start with law firm internships or internships under advocates. अगर आपको मिल रही है किसी जुगाड़ के थ्रू, go for it. It's fine, but don't try too hard for a law firm internship. I'll tell you why. And also अगर आपके किसी दोस्त की कहीं law firm में लगी हुई है first year में, किसी advocate के अंडर लगी हुई है, don't get intimidated by all of those people. It hardly matters. It doesn't matter at all, right? Okay, so what your trajectory, the correct word for this should be, the trajectory of your internships should be as follows. ध्यान से सुनना सबके सब. First year you should intern in any voluntary organization, NGOs, और बहुत सारे type के NGOs होते हैं और बहुत सारे startups होते हैं, right? For example, my organization is a 6-year-old startup and we sometimes take first year students, right? Okay, so by the way guys, काफी लोग questions पूछ रहे हैं chat box पे. I would request you to please reserve your questions till the end. अगर आपको कोई question है, आप chat box में type कर लो, but enter मत करो, या फिर अपने किसी notepad पे लिख लो. I will take all your questions. I will leave no question without answering it, but I will take all of these at the end. So first year में work at some startup, work at some NGO. Second and third year, you should start interning with High Court, Supreme Court or District Court advocates, and also law firms. ठीक है, second year में ऐसा कर लो advocate के अंडर, third year में कर लो law firm के अंडर. ठीक है, तो technically by the third year end, you would have a perfect perspective of how all areas of law function. एक NGO वाला एरिया होता है, एक लॉ फर्म वाला एरिया होता है, और एक एडवोकेट मतलब लिटिगेशन वाला एरिया होता है. सो बाय थर्ड ईयर एंड आपको पता चल जाएगा कि आपको ज्यादा क्या पसंद है. ठीक है, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली फोर्थ और फिफ्थ ईयर में चूज दोज इंटर्नशिप्स जो आपको सबसे ज्यादा पसंद आई. ठीक है, अगर आपको फिर भी ऐसा लगता है थर्ड ईयर एंड में कि आई एम स्टिल नॉट श्योर इफ आई वांट टू डू if I want to pursue my future in litigation or law firms, then simply do one or two more internships in one law firm and under one advocate. So at least by the end of your fourth year, you would have a definite idea कि मुझे करना क्या है. And your remaining last 1 year is enough for you to focus on just one internship and be after that internship so much कि आपका PPO वहाँ पे लग ही जाए. ठीक है, सो अगेन आपको ट्रेजेक्ट्री जो है ये बहुत ज्यादा केयरफुली आपको सुननी थी. फर्स्ट ईयर में एनजीओ, सेकंड ईयर में एडवोकेट्स, थर्ड ईयर में लॉ फर्म्स. fourth year में preferably do what you think is right. Or fourth year में you can also try experimenting again एक बार last time, right? So that's what your trajectory should look like. Now a lot of times we have questions कि भाई हम corporate choose करें, litigation choose करें, ये exactly how do we figure this out, right? So I'll share my own story. When I was interning at Pilsar in my first year, that was under a senior advocate. A senior advocate used to look after it. His name is Mr. Rajiv Dhawan. He's a very respected senior advocate, and when I was working under him, I used to be very inspired by him. I used to be very impressed by his life, the way of his working, everything. So by the end of my internship, I just knew one thing: I had to become an advocate like him, right? I was very inspired. So I thought that कि यार अब से ना अब set हो गया ये, that I just want to become an advocate, right? But अब second year में I started interning in under advocates. Third year में lucky I just thought कि मैं explore करता हूँ, and I interned in this firm called Indus Legal in Mumbai. So 1 month when I interned there, I had also sent an application to Amarchand Mangaldas, and luckily my application got accepted. I'll tell you how that internship application got accepted. That's also a very crazy story. But yeah, फिर जब मैंने इंडस लॉ और अमरचंद मंगलदास में काम किया, मैंने कहा यार ये तो सही है, this is better than litigation for whatever reasons I had. मतलब तुम्हारे reasons अलग हो सकते हैं, मेरे reasons अलग हो सकते हैं. So, but basically I thought that just a second, guys. Just yeah, very sorry, guys. So basically, when I was interning at Indus Law, my perspective changed. I just wanted to intern and also end up in a law firm because the money was amazing. And I knew that, a desk job probably suits me more than जो भाग दौड़ होती है एक एडवोकेट की लाइफ में. प्लस आई हैड एब्सोल्युटली नो लॉ बैकग्राउंड, सो आई हैड नो क्लाइंटेल. ना मेरे पापा, ना मेरी बहन, ना कोई. आई एम फ्रॉम अ फैमिली ऑफ इंजीनियर्स. सो आई थॉट it's a good thing to go in a law firm. And then of course when I joined a law firm, then my perspective changed again. I thought, no, this is not the thing for me. Ultimately what I've always wanted to do was go into business. So then I changed my line of work. So what I'm trying to tell all of you is कि हमारे अंदर काफी टाइम बहुत रिजिडिटी होती है. और मैंने बहुत स्टूडेंट्स में रिजिडिटी देख रखी है कि नहीं सर, हमने सोच लिया है कि हम जुडिशरी ही करेंगे. भाई व्हाट इफ यू डोंट गेट इनटू जुडिशरी? ऐसे बहुत ब्रिलियंट माइंड्स होते हैं जो विद द रीजन कैन बी एनीथिंग, लक और सिंपली लैक ऑफ हार्ड वर्क, कुछ भी चीजों की वजह से जो आप शायद कंट्रोल ना भी कर पाओ, बहुत बार you might not be able to achieve your goal. You should always have a backup plan, and you should be flexible in terms of your future profession, right? So ऐसा मत सोचना कभी कि यार आज मैंने सोच लिया कि मैं जुडिशरी ही कर रहा हूँ तो मैं अब जुडिशरी ही करूंगा. You may or may not end up there. It's a harsh reality of life. जो लोग सोच रहे थे जुडिशरी का इस साल, the exams didn't happen. So what do they do right now? They can't. If they were a little flexible, then things would have been different. I'm not saying that their decision was bad or something like that, but I'm just telling you it's always good to have a backup, right? So आप जब मैंने आपको बोला ये जो 4th और 5th ईयर का टाइम होता है, उससे पहले second third year में you should be flexible. You should try to intern with as many types of lawyers, as many types of law firms, so that आपको एक holistic understanding मिल जाए कि भाई exactly चीजें होती कैसे. घर पे बैठ के लॉ स्कूल में बैठ के you cannot simply predict कि यार ये चीज मेरे लिए सही नहीं है, ये चीज मेरे लिए सही है. You need to experience that first, and the best way to do it is through internships. Maybe the reason why you're not doing it is because you fear hard work subconsciously. आप खुद को शायद बोलते हो कि आप hard work करते हो, but probably you are afraid of it. So ask yourself that question. खुद से झूठ मत बोलना इस चीज के लिए. अगर आपको लगता है कि यार हाँ मुझे हार्ड वर्क शायद करने में उतनी थोड़ी सी प्रॉब्लम है, तो recalibrate and आप अपना प्लान बदलो. be more explorative, explore more internships, right? Okay. Now, another thing which is important for your holistic development so that you get a job in a law firm is you can't just focus on your academic activities. ठीक है, आप टॉप रैंकर हो, आपके बहुत अच्छे मार्क्स आते हैं अपने कॉलेज में, all of that is fine, but that's not what all is required. Acha guys, please don't turn on your videos in between. That's very distracting. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is ki just because you have good marks will never guarantee you a job in a law firm, right? You need to have a holistic CV. Don't just go for one thing. Again, explore things. Explore co-curricular activities like moot court competitions, research papers, or इसी के साथ साथ why don't you also explore on extracurricular activities, let's say sports or music or any such hobby which you want to pursue. Extracurricular activities are not so much meant for your law firm application, but for your personal life. I see so many people today who don't have a hobby today. They regret that they did not do anything which could have developed hobbies in them, because life is going to get really tough. Life is going to get very, very pressurizing. In that time, you need to have a hobby, right? Okay, so what I'm trying to say is co-curricular activities पे तो you have to focus. Co-curriculars and extracurriculars are different. Co-curricular activities होती है moot court competition, research papers, MUNs, seminars, webinars, all of these things, right? So always make sure that you are focusing on these apart from just your academics. Okay, so the next question which I have is yes or no में मुझे आंसर देना. Do you know what you are definitely going to be doing after 5 years of law school? Yes or no? Anmol. So Anmol said yes, right? One second. So a lot of you said yes. Anmol said yes. Shri said yes. I want to understand. I want to ask you guys, what do you think are you going to be doing after the 5 years? Anybody? जिसने yes लिखा? Okay, so somebody has privately messaged me LLM, right? तो बहुत लोग सोच रहे होंगे भी कि नहीं मुझे LLB के बाद LLM ही करना है, right? And again I'm trying to tell you, आपके दिमाग में ये चीज है, that's fine. You want to start up a law firm, that is very good idea. You want to go into an M&A firm, that is very good. Don't be very rigid on these plans. जिस इंसान को इस साल LLM करना था उसमें से आधे से ज्यादा लोग इस साल रिग्रेट कर रहे हैं अपना डिसीजन बिकॉज ऑफ द एंटायर कोरोना सिचुएशन, राइट? जिन लोगों को लॉ फर्म्स खोलनी थी, they are also in a soup because there is absolutely no funds, no infrastructure which is available. You don't have money to pay to your employees. हर जगह salary cuts चल रहे हैं. So again, don't be that rigid. I'm very happy that a lot of you have plans आगे क्या करना है, but जितने लोगों ने no कहा था, I absolutely agree with you. Sorry, not agree. I resonate with you. I was in the same circle. मुझे नहीं पता था क्या करना है. I was just doing things. I was just interning. I knew one thing कि यार मैं intern करता रहूँगा, moot court competitions करता रहूँगा, research paper करता रहूँगा. Academics में I would do well. I have never fallen below 80% or something. तो मैं अगर वो सब कुछ करता रहूँगा, तो at least एट द एंड ऑफ इट मैं ये सोचूंगा कि भाई मैंने अपनी तरफ से पूरी पूरी जान लगाई, राइट? एंड दैट्स ऑल आई वाज डूइंग. आई डिड नॉट हैव अ डेफिनेट प्लान कि मुझे लॉ फर्म में पक्का पक्का जाना है या मुझे एलएलएम करना है या ये करना है. हाँ, मैं कभी कभार इंस्पायर हो जाता था ये सोच के कि हाँ मुझे लिटिगेशन करना है, लॉ फर्म करनी है, बट आई had nothing in mind in terms of ambition. I was just doing things. I was just exploring and doing things. So for people who have this question in mind, who have written no, my first thing to you is my first advice to you is don't stress a lot, don't put a lot of stress on yourself. मे बी आपके मम्मी पापा, मे बी आपके फ्रेंड्स आप पे बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रेस डालते हो डायरेक्टली या फिर इनडायरेक्टली. मे बी आप कुछ ऐसे लोग हैं आपके बैच में जो जिनको देख के आपको लगता हो कि यार मैं क्यों नहीं कर रहा हूँ यार ये, बट देयर सिचुएशन इज डिफरेंट, योर सिचुएशन इज डिफरेंट, वी आर ऑल लिविंग डिफरेंट लाइव्स. यू आर जस्ट सपोज टू डू द बेस्ट एट दिस पर्टिकुलर टाइम. ठीक है, लिव इन द प्रेजेंट. आप जो भी अभी कर रहे हो, मेक श्योर दैट यू आर गिविंग योर बेस्ट and then forget everything else. ठीक है, so please don't be demotivated, please don't get discouraged जब आपके आसपास लोग होते हैं और बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छी तरीके से चीज़ें कर लेते हैं. I knew so many people in my batch, in my senior batch, in my junior batch, who were sort of thinking, who were doing so well in life that कभी कभार मैं भी demotivate हो जाता था कि यार मेरा शायद कहीं पे ना हो, ऐसा हो सकता है कि मैं घर पे मुझे बैठना पड़े. But as I said, I was just doing things, and fortunately, I was the first person in my entire college to get a PPO from Amarchand Mangaldas. I was the first person in my batch to get a PPO, not just in Amarchand Mangaldas, to get a PPO. So I'm just telling you this because जो लोग दिखते हैं अभी इंस्टाग्राम पे कुछ कर रहे हैं बहुत अच्छा, लिंक्डइन पे कुछ कर रहे हैं बहुत अच्छा, congratulations to them, very good, but it doesn't mean that you can't do things. If you work hard, then you are definitely going to reach there, and you have my example in front of you. You don't need to worry that much, right? Okay, so now I'm going to talk a little. Just a second. Okay, so again guys, somebody has privately messaged me for some question. Guys, please reserve your questions till the end. I will answer to all your questions. See, these are some of the things which, if you are interning, तो आपको अपने senior के साथ ये सारी चीजें, I'm not getting angry at any one of you, but I'm just giving you a very important tip. Listen to what the other person is saying. That is one of the best advices which I can give you for your next internship. आपको internship करते हुए अपने senior की या फिर अपने आसपास अपनी टीम की हर एक बात को सुनना चाहिए और उसको उतनी ही अच्छी तरीके से execute करना चाहिए, right? Anyway, now we are going to talk a little about how to apply for an internship, right? First of all, आपको जो मैंने फाइल भेजी थी रेज्यूमे और सीवी राइटिंग वाली, यू मेक ओके, यू मेक अ कवर लेटर एंड अ सीवी, एंड आपको क्या करना है, यू हैव टू अप्लाई इंडिविजुअली टू एवरी लॉ फर्म और एडवोकेट. बहुत बार बच्चे क्या करते हैं, सीसी में डाल देते हैं या बीसीसी में डाल देते हैं बहुत सारी लॉ फर्म्स को और एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि भाई मेरी एप्लीकेशन सेलेक्ट हो जाए. फिर जब नहीं होती है तो सोचते हैं कि यार पता नहीं मेरे स्टार्स शायद खराब थे, दैट्स व्हाई इट डिडंट हैपन. बट द मेन रीजन इज दैट यू डिड नॉट पुट इन दैट एफर्ट व्हिच वाज रिक्वायर्ड. सो always make sure that you don't make this a habit of having CC or BCC in your applications. If possible, then go through the internship committee of your college. That helps. If there is an internship committee of your college, go through the process which they have, right? Okay, Pankaj has written me, can you send me the file at your email ID? No, I can't send you the file at your email ID. The file is already there on the chat and it's there on WhatsApp again. So these are some of the things which you have to remember. You have to be more attentive. You have to be listening to what the other person is saying so that you execute things well for your next internship, right? See, when I am handling my interns, when I was there in Amarchand Mangaldas, when I was handling my interns, these were some of the things which I used to look for कि कौन intern अच्छा है कौन नहीं, right? कि कौन ज़्यादा attentive है, कौन मेरी बात actually सुन रहा है. क्योंकि अगर आपने मेरी बात सुनी नहीं है तो आप execute नहीं कर पाओगे. अगर आप execute नहीं कर पाओगे तो you're not a good employee for my team, right? So you always need to be attentive, you always need to be professional. Anyway, okay, so now we come to Just a second. Let's go to the next topic. Just a second, guys. हाँ, ओके. सो अब बहुत बहुत बच्चों को ना क्या होता है कि दे आर वेरी ईगर टू बस डायरेक्टली उनको बता दो कि यार इंटर्नशिप मिलेगी कैसे, पीपीओ मिलेगी, पीपीओ मिलेगा कैसे. बहुत लोगों के हमारे दिमाग में ये एक स्ट्रेट क्वेश्चन है, ठीक है, कि अगेन गाइज आई एम नॉट answering your questions. Please hold on to the questions. Okay. All right. So can I close the chat box? Legal fumes, can you please close the chat box? I'm sure a lot of people are not understanding what I'm trying to say. कि भाई please questions at the end so that ऐसे distractions ना हो. Anyway, so अब क्या होता है ना, बहुत बार बच्चों को ये लगता है कि यार can we just get to the question and answer session where you can tell me how to get that PPO or how to get that internship. But guys, it does not happen so fast. आपको पहले you have to take a step back and you have to answer a few questions. आप what you can do is take a diary, ठीक है, take a diary or take a word document and I want you to ask yourself a few questions and I want you to answer those questions on your own. I'm just going to share the screen जहाँ पे ये questions लिखे हुए हैं. Just a second. I hope this is audible. This is visible. Let me open the chat box once. Is it visible? JLSR or legal fumes? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So these are the immediate questions which you have to address. Where do you see yourself? बहुत लोगों के दिमाग में होता है I don't see myself anywhere. But this I'm not asking you to write कि भाई I see myself in a law firm or I see myself in in litigation. No, that's not what you are supposed to answer. Where do you see yourself? मतलब है 5 साल निकलने के बाद आप कैसी लाइफ चाहते हो अपने लिए. डू यू वांट लेट्स से ऐसी लाइफ जहाँ पे वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस हो, जहाँ पे आपके पास बहुत ज्यादा पैसा भी ना हो पर बहुत कम पैसा भी ना हो, या फिर आप ऐसी लाइफ चाहते हो कि आपके पास अंधाधुंध पैसा हो, आपका यू डू नॉट केयर सो मच अबाउट वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस एंड यू आर रेडी टू हैंडल अ लॉट ऑफ स्ट्रेस, राइट. सो फर्स्ट यू नीड टू आंसर दैट क्वेश्चन. एक ये चीज आप अपने दिमाग में डायरी में या फिर वर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट में ये चीज लिखो. सेकेंड चीज, वेयर डू यू वांट टू बी. नाउ कमिंग फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन आपको इस चीज का आंसर मिल जाएगा. अगर आप चाहते हो कि आपका वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस रहे, आपके पास टाइम हो चीजें करने का, देन a tier 1 job is not the answer. A tier 1 law firm job is definitely not the answer, ठीक है. And you don't have to modify the first answer for the second question, by the way. मतलब ऐसा ना हो कि आप ऐसा सोचो कि मुझे क्योंकि टियर 1 में जाना है इसलिए मुझे वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस कम भी हो तो चलेगा. नहीं, आप पहले सोचो कि आपको वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस कितना चाहिए. अगर आपको ज्यादा वर्क चाहिए, कम बैलेंस चाहिए, लॉ फर्म में टियर 1 में जाना इज एब्सोल्युटली फाइन. अगर आप थोड़े से कम पैसों में लेकिन ज्यादा कम, मतलब नॉट टू लेस, इतने कम, बिल्कुल बीच के लेवल के पैसों में अगर खुश हो, then what you can do is then you can work at a tier 2 or tier 3 law firm, or maybe work in under an advocate जिसका उतना ज्यादा hectic नहीं हो रहता है शेड्यूल. Now third thing, where will you be happy? Now this question only comes once you have an understanding of different kinds of internships. जब आप लिटिगेशन करते हो आपको दिखता है कि चीजें कैसी चलती है, जब आप लॉ फर्म में जाते हो आपको दिखता है कि कैसी चीजें चलती है, राइट. सो देन यू हैव टू आस्क कि भाई मैं वेयर विल आई बी हैप्पी. लाइक लिटिगेशन मुझे हैप्पी बनाएगा, क्यों? क्योंकि आई लाइक ड्राफ्टिंग SLPs, I like doing this kind of work. Or a law firm would make you happy because why? Because I like more money. That's simply, that could also be a factor. That's absolutely fine. अगर आपको ज़्यादा पैसे चाहिए, if you have been from a middle class family, I'll tell you my reason. I was from a middle class family. I never saw that much amount of money जो एक tier 1 law firm के associate को ही मिलता है. So I just wanted to experience that life, and that was one of my motivations. So if that makes me happy, then my answer would be a law firm, right? तो ये 2-3 questions जो है आप इनको आंसर करो, और फिर इससे निकल के आएगा कि आपको किस टाइप की इंटर्नशिप पे फोकस करना चाहिए. ठीक है? ओके, नाउ वन मोर थिंग, जस्ट अ सेकंड. Just a second. सो हाँ, अब बहुत बार क्या होता है, बच्चों को लगता है कि यार व्हाट इफ आई चूज द रॉन्ग प्रोफेशन, व्हाट इफ आई वांटेड टू गो टू लिटिगेशन एंड आई चोज a tier 1 law firm. Let me tell you a very, very solid fact which students don't know. It's quite easy to change your jobs within the legal fraternity. मतलब अगर आप आज एडवोकेट हो, आपको कल लॉ फर्म में जाना है, इट्स वेरी इजी. आप एक लॉ फर्म में हो, आपको दूसरी लॉ फर्म में जाना है, इट्स वेरी इजी. अगर आप किसी मिड टियर लॉ फर्म में हो और आपको फर्स्ट टियर 1 लॉ फर्म में जाना है, इट्स वेरी वेरी इजी, राइट? हमें एज लॉ स्टूडेंट्स ऐसा लगता है इट्स वेरी वेरी डिफिकल्ट, बट द रियलिटी इज डिफरेंट. ये हमें भी पता चला जब हम इस सेक्टर में आए, क्योंकि ये सारी चीजें कोई बताता नहीं है, सो हमें पता नहीं चलती. तो हम क्या सोचते हैं कि जैसा जनरल नॉर्म होता होगा वैसा ही होता होगा, कि भाई it probably isn't that easy, right? So but let me tell you as a sigh of relief that it is easy to change jobs, so you don't need to worry too much here. What if I end up in the wrong specialization, right? Sorry, just a second. I hope I'm audible. Okay. Now a few last points which I'm going to sort of now, yeah, a few last points which I'm going to sort of take is a lot of you might have low CGPAs. आपके कम मार्क्स होंगे और आप सोचते होंगे कि यार टियर 1 लॉ फर्म में अगर मुझे एक जॉब चाहिए तो प्रॉब्ली हाई CGPA इज नेसेसरी. सो द आंसर इज मिक्स्ड, और इट्स अ यस एंड अ नो. ठीक है? नो इन द सेंस कि नो, दे वुड नॉट मैटर इफ दे डोंट फॉल बिलो a certain point, right? अगर 70-80% के नीचे हैं तो it might raise questions. ठीक है? Then it might be problems. But अगर आपके at the same time, if in your CV you have great achievements, then it's fine. I'll tell you a personal example. One of my friends, one of my moot team members, they were the finalists of Philip C. Jessup International Moot Court Competition, which is the world's biggest moot court competition. And it's a very, very big thing to get into the finals of International Jessup. आज तक इंडिया की कुछ ही teams जा पाई हैं. But his CGPA was very low. So he used to be very worried. But ultimately what worked for him was to highlight his other achievements, which included his brilliant moots, his brilliant research papers. So somewhere you will have to compensate. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि अगर आपके low CGPA है, आपके बिल्कुल research papers नहीं है, you have no moot court competition, and then you expect it's something to happen. Then it's unreasonable to expect anything. That's why if you have a low CGPA, I would say that it's fine as long as you have other things to compensate. If you don't have the ideal situation is you have a balance of everything. You have, let's say, 70-80% आपकी CGPA हो, आपके पास 2 से 3 अच्छे मूट हो, 2 से 3 अच्छी रिसर्च पेपर्स हो, 2 से 3 अच्छे वेबिनार सेमिनार्स, 2 से 3 अच्छे सर्टिफिकेट कोर्सेज फ्रॉम रेप्यूटेड organizations, then this kind of a mix is ideal and balanced. So if you have that, then that's probably the most ideal thing. So yeah, that was the last thing which I wanted to talk about. Now I'm open for questions. Whatever questions you may have, please write them in the chat box. I will take them one by one. Okay. Anmol is saying, sir, I am in second year presently. Many of my friends have been writing multiple research papers during the lockdown while I've been busy with my internships in tier 2 law firms. Have I been missing out on opportunities by not writing research papers? No, you have not been missing out on any opportunity because at the same time you are doing internships, right? हम सबके पास 24 घंटे ही होते हैं. So अगर वो लोग research papers लिख रहे हैं, अगर वो लोग अपना टाइम प्रोडक्टिवली यूज कर रहे हैं तो आप भी एट द सेम टाइम इंटर्नशिप कर रहे हो. यू आर नॉट वेस्टिंग दैट टाइम. एज लॉन्ग एज यू आर नॉट वेस्टिंग योर प्रोडक्टिव टाइम, इट्स फाइन, इट्स एब्सोल्युटली फाइन. Sir, is it important as to how many internships have we done? Okay, so it's not very important, but I would say that आपका सीवी जब एचआर के पास जाता है तो दिस इज वन ऑफ द थिंग्स व्हिच द सीवी लुक्स एट, that you know how many internships you have done and where you have interned. How many से ज्यादा होता है where you have interned, because let's say I am in Amarchand Mangaldas and I want to hire some intern. I would ideally like अगर कोई ऐसा बच्चा है जिसने tier 2 या फिर tier 1 में already internship कर रखी हो, because I know then the less amount of time goes into training that intern. Sir, can I get a PPT copy? No, you can't. Sorry, that's actually another document. वो मैंने बीच में से कहीं पे लगा दिया था, so that wouldn't be useful to you at all. I have problems which is in the back of my mind to consult. Okay. So please go ahead and let's consult. Let's give you consultation for that. I'm in first semester LLM, got 61% in LLB. Can you please discuss regarding what is the best thing to do after completing LLM? How to balance my CV? Okay, so guys, बहुत लोग क्या 95% लोग जो होते हैं, the reason which they have to do an LLM is wrong. 95% think कि LLM करने के बाद maybe my employability will increase, but no, LLM is technically supposed to be done by only those people who want to go in the field of research in law or in the field of education, right? So अगर आपको simply वापस law firm join करना है, बहुत लोग करते हैं ये, but it's absolutely of no use. If you spend 70-80 lakh rupees or let's say 30-40 lakh rupees in Europe, you spend that much amount of money to just get an increment of let's say 10-20,000 in your salary. That's really not worth it. So I would say कि क्या आपने लिखा है, can you please discuss regarding what is the best thing to do after completing LLM? So yeah, LLM करने के बाद आपके goals clear होने चाहिए कि LLM करने के बाद आपको करना क्या है. अगर आपको LLM करने के बाद आप अभी सोच रहे हो कि law firm join करनी, litigation join करना है, ideally that's not the purpose of an LLM. It may or may not be useful for that. अगर आपको research में जाना है, education में जाना है, आपको teacher बनना है, तो definitely LLM has great perspective. And क्योंकि आप अभी सिर्फ first semester में हो, I would request you to learn more about LLMs through webinars which are conducted by LLM colleges. ठीक है, आप जाओ वेबसाइट पे, LLM वाले जो कॉलेजेस हैं उनकी वेबसाइट पे जाओ, क्वींस मेरी पे, लेट्स से कैम्ब्रिज, ऑक्सफोर्ड, इन सब की वेबसाइट पे जाओ एंड रजिस्टर योरसेल्फ फॉर एनी वेबिनार ऑन LLMs. एंड फ्रॉम दैट यू विल फाइंड आउट कि भाई क्या प्रोस्पेक्टिव्स होते हैं आगे जाके. ओके, मेरे पास प्राइवेट क्वेश्चंस भी आ रहे हैं काफी, वो भी मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ. डज ऑनलाइन इंटर्नशिप होल्ड वैल्यू? एब्सोल्युटली यस. ऑनलाइन इंटर्नशिप्स आर जस्ट इंटर्नशिप्स व्हिच आर not happening in office because of the issue which all of us are facing. Memo Pundits, the organization which I head, we are also doing online internships because अभी हम ऑफिस में किसी को नहीं ला सकते हैं. So don't worry कि मैं online internship कर रहा हूँ, it may be not that authentic. No, it's not. It's really not the case unless you are doing an online internship from a shady organization. Then it's going to be an issue, right? ऐसी कोई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जहाँ पे ज़्यादा कुछ काम नहीं करवा रहे हैं आपसे, वो लोग थोड़े बहुत फ्रॉड लग रहे हैं, दे आर नॉट लुकिंग लाइक अ रियल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, देन इट माइट बी जस्ट अ वेस्ट ऑफ योर टाइम. Sir, how to do online internships? Can't able to find. Okay, so you're not able to find online internships. ऑनलाइन इंटर्नशिप्स को ढूंढने में एक बहुत बड़ी दिक्कत है. ओके, सो वन ऑफ द थिंग्स इज ऑफ कोर्स वी हैव दीज वेबसाइट्स लाइक लॉक्टोपस एंड ऑल व्हिच हैव एब्सोल्युटली stopped posting relevant content, as in the sense कि इंटर्नशिप्स अगर आप ढूंढने जाओ वहाँ पे, मैं कुछ दिन पहले ही उस वेबसाइट पे था, सो आई हैड टू गो टू द सेकंड थर्ड पेज टू इवन रीड, to go to the non-advertised post. So of course it's become very very difficult to sort of um, figure out कि internships कहाँ मिल रही हैं, online internships कहाँ हो रही हैं. So the best way is to network. कैसे नेटवर्क आप कर सकते हो? फॉलो करो इंस्टाग्राम पे, लिंक्डइन पे, इन सारी की सारी ये जो नई ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं, पुरानी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं, लाइक आवर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन मेमो पंडित्स, वी आर वेरी एक्टिव ऑन इंस्टाग्राम, वी आर वेरी एक्टिव ऑन लिंक्डइन. आई एम श्योर JLSR, लीगल फ्यूम्स, ऑल ऑफ आवर ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, what we do is हम social network पे बहुत ज़्यादा active रहते हैं, so that we can connect with the students. So just follow us, follow other competing organizations, and वहाँ पे आपको बार बार दिखता रहेगा कि भाई इंटर्नशिप कहाँ पे खुल रही है, या फिर सिंपली आस्क देम कि भाई गिव मी योर ईमेल आईडी, आई वांट टू अप्लाई. दैट्स ऑल. if you would be required, then they probably might hire you, right? So okay, sir, I have lots of language problem and I don't have communication skills. What can I do, sir? Because I'm very worried about that, sir. Okay, so for everyone who has any insecurity about your spoken English or verbal English, I want to announce something which I've never announced actually officially abhi tak. We, Memo Pundits, is launching a course on spoken and written English for law students. If you want to get a preview of it, please just please keep following our Instagram page. We are probably going to release this in the next 30 days or so. It's going to be at a very affordable price. We are going to, sorry, this is my cat, he is interrupting. Sorry. Okay, so we are going to launch this course and it's going to tell you everything to overcome your fear of spoken and written English, of public speaking, of English writing. All of that will be finished, right? So, and it's very important. Your English is absolutely important, because fortunately or unfortunately, that's the single most important language which lawyers use on a daily basis. Okay, can you please provide the PPT? That PPT का जो मैंने तुम्हें थोड़ा सा उसका पार्ट दिखाया था, वो बहुत ही किसी और PPT का. This is the PPT which I made in my 5th year when I gave a presentation in my own college for how to get internships in Tier 1 law firm, but it has a lot of irrelevant content, so जितना भी relevant था वो मैंने आपको दिखा दिया. Sir, is it prudent to reply solely on campus placements due to some reason, or should one try one's best to try everywhere for a job? Okay, so campus placements may or may not give you any benefit. In fact, I remember NLUO, my alma mater, अब तो उनकी campus placements are going good, but at my time there were hardly single digit या double digit भी कभी कभार नहीं जा पाता था उनका campus placements जब होती थी, right? अब तो काफी इनफैक्ट अब बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा करने लगा है, बट अगर आपकी एलुमनाई नहीं बनी है अभी तक आपके कॉलेज की, तो it's difficult for campus placements to happen. So my advice to you would be, don't rely on campus placements unless you are from a top tier NLU or private colleges like Jindal. Okay, sir, this is my last semester. I haven't done any internships and haven't written any research papers. Which type of CV should be? I have online webinar certificates. These certificates will be useful for me. Of course, Priya, these certificates would be useful for you. See, the fact that you don't have internships and research papers, it's not something which we can ignore. ठीक है, इसका ना होना is problematic. आपने 6 semester complete किए हैं. Any employer, any HR would expect a person of your caliber, of your experience, to have these kinds of things in your CV. So क्योंकि आपके पास ये नहीं है, तो पहली बात तो हम अब उस बात पे बढ़ते हैं कि भाई अब नहीं है तो अब क्या कर सकते हैं, राइट? सो अगर आपका लास्ट सेमेस्टर चल रहा है, व्हाई डोंट यू पिक वन इंटर्नशिप, लेट्स से मे बी अंडर एन एडवोकेट, राइट? आप किसी भी तरीके से अप्लाई करो. आप जस्ट फॉलो समवन ऑन लिंक्डइन हु इज एन एडवोकेट, आस्क देम फॉर देयर इंटर्नशिप्स. इन फैक्ट आई नो अ लॉट ऑफ friends from my own college who got internships in 2015 पे लिंक्डइन चलता भी नहीं था ढंग से. उस टाइम पे बस लोगों को मैसेज कर करके कि सर आई वांट टू, sir, I am so and so, I have done so and so subjects in my law school, I am interested in this and I want to intern under you or in your organization, and probably they might agree. So don't step back from doing that, and probably that's the best sort of um, you know way forward for you. Sir, how do we know which tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 law firms are? Okay, so एक रैंकिंग, बहुत सारी रैंकिंग्स होती हैं. द बेस्ट रैंकिंग्स विच आर आउट देयर आर कॉल्ड RSG रैंकिंग्स, RSG रैंकिंग्स. एंड ऑल्सो लीगल 500 करके रैंकिंग्स आती हैं. हुज हु करके हुज हु करके एक फॉर लॉ फर्म्स आती हैं रैंकिंग. सो बहुत सारी आएंगी रैंकिंग्स. जस्ट गूगल रैंकिंग्स ऑफ लॉ फर्म्स इन इंडिया. टियर 1 लॉ फर्म्स जो हैं हमारे इंडिया में, typically these 4-5 law firms, Cyril Amarchand Mangaldas, Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas, Khaitan, JSA, Trilegal, Luthra. These are the sort of firms which are considered as tier 1 law firms. इसके बाद जो law firms पिछले 10 साल से चलती आ रही हैं, जिनका काफी ज्यादा अच्छा turnover revenue हो जाता है, they are sort of called mid tier, and then the remaining are the tier 3 law firms. Okay, sir, is it important to win a moot court competition in order to mention about in CV? We can mention about a participation. Okay, so Vipul, in fact, मेरे CV में काफी टाइम तक कोई अच्छे moot court competition का mention ही नहीं था, right? So और participation मैंने किया था काफी सारे moot court competition, so मैंने लिखा था वो. But of course, अगर आपके पास winnings हैं तो that will matter more. पार्टिसिपेशन लिखना इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. आप लिख सकते हो बिल्कुल, बट वो कितना हेल्प करे दैट इवन आई कांट टेल यू, दैट नो वन कैन टेल, बिकॉज एचआर को क्या पसंद है क्या नहीं पसंद है वो बस उसको पता रहता है. ओके सर, आर senior aged persons hired by law firms? Yes, you may be hired depending on what experience you have, what kind of skills you possess. आपने क्या relevant किसी सब्जेक्ट एरिया में काम किया है, तो अगर किया है तो then definitely law firms would be looking for people who have that experience. Sir, I have applied many places for internship, but my application is not getting selected. Okay, what should I do? Okay, so I'll tell you personally, Mayank, जब मैं NLEO में था, मैंने tier 1 जितनी मैंने बताई ना सारी की सारी, इन सब में मैंने अपनी applications भेजी थी. Within a week, I got rejections from all of them except Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas. पता नहीं मेरी शायद stars उस टाइम पे सही चल रहे थे या क्या चल रहे थे. मैंने क्या किया ना, मुझे rejection नहीं मिला. That's what I'm saying, कि मुझे बस एक organization थी, बस एक firm थी जहाँ से rejection नहीं मिला. So what I did was I used to follow up every Wednesday with the HR by calling her, by messaging her, by emailing her कि भाई what is the status of my application. और बस वो कर करके I stayed fresh in the mind of the HR. और बस कहीं ना कहीं I clicked, and then she sent me a question, एक acceptance का questionnaire हमें भर के देना होता है हर intern को, वो उसने मुझे दे दिया. So what I'm trying to say is कि keep following up. That's one thing which law students don't do. So if you want to get selected, अगर आपका internship selection नहीं हो रहा है, तो the probable reason is that you don't follow up enough. ठीक है. Sir, at least how many research papers should we write in 5 years or law degree? You can even not write any research paper and still get a tier 1 job. That's absolutely possible, but ideally 2 से 3 research papers is good enough. I'm in second year and doing BBLLB. I'm doing my internship in marketing sector also, so that will be helpful for me or not? Absolutely, that will be helpful, because in fact, organizations like ours, like Memo Pundits, we sometimes look out for sales people. तो ऐसी बहुत सारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस होंगी जो लॉ से भी कनेक्टेड हैं और जिनको बिजनेस बैकग्राउंड के लोग चाहिए. सो फॉर दैट, for those organizations, your organization would definitely be helpful. Okay, so काफी सारे questions आ रहे हैं. Don't worry, I will answer each and every question. I will not leave this place without answering your question. But for people who are, who want to leave without sort of getting the answers to the remaining questions, guys, please follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram page is called Memo Pundits, MEMOPUNDITS. We also post a lot about internships की कहाँ क्या होने वाली है, कहाँ पे अभी चल रही है, what is the call. We do all of that, so please keep following us so that you also benefit from it. Sir, if one doesn't take part in moot, then how does it impact while applying for internship? Okay, so Darshi, the thing is कि आपने अगर moot court competitions नहीं किए हैं तो it's not like it's very 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 bad, but अगर आपने किए हैं तो it's going to be beneficial, right? So आपने नहीं किए हैं तो आप apply करो. आप obviously आप झूठ तो लिखोगे नहीं उसमें कि मैंने moot court competitions किए हैं, right? So simply try to highlight your other achievements कि आपने कौन से रिसर्च पेपर किए हैं या कौन से अच्छे कोर्सेज सर्टिफिकेट कोर्सेज किए हैं, राइट? ऑल ऑफ दीज थिंग्स देन यू विल हैव टू सॉर्ट ऑफ हाईलाइट इन योर सीवी. बट अगर आप बोलोगे कि मेरे पास वो भी नहीं है, देन अगेन इट्स अ प्रॉब्लम. इफ आपके सीवी में अगर कुछ भी डालने लायक नहीं है तो देन स्टार्ट वर्किंग ऑन इट फ्रॉम टुडे इटसेल्फ. Being in fifth year, I reflect upon my past career and feel that they are not up to mark for lost student. How do I make up for the lost time? You cannot make up for the lost time. We cannot go back into past and change anything. All you can do is you can create better plans for the future. So you can learn from your mistakes. That's what you can do. अगर आप जो बोल रहे हो कि you don't feel like you are up to mark, तो आप जिस लॉ स्टूडेंट को देख के ये बोल रहे हो कि भाई ये लॉ स्टूडेंट है, ये जो कर रहा है ये सही कर रहा है, तो ट्राई टू सॉर्ट ऑफ मिमिक दैट, ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड कि वो जो कर रहा है वो क्यों कर रहा है, एंड देन ट्राई टू सी कि मैं कैसे कर सकता हूँ. Sir, can you give some insight on the process of how do you prepare your research paper, like just for the basics? Okay, पंखुड़ी research paper के बिल्कुल basics अगर मैं बताऊँ तो आपको एक topic choose करना है. आपको उस टॉपिक के बारे में देखना है कि भाई ऐसा ना हो कि वो बहुत ही ज्यादा ऑलरेडी सेटल्ड टॉपिक हो. फॉर एग्जांपल कोरोना एंड लेट्स से द होल कोरोना सिचुएशन in terms of the आरोग्य सेतु ऐप. This is a gray issue. This is a burning topic, right? So इसके ऊपर आपको रिसर्च पेपर के लिए क्या करना है, आपको लीगल प्रोविजंस और जो एप्लीकेबल लॉ है वो रिसर्च करनी है एंड अपना एनालिसिस बताना है रिसर्च पेपर में. Sir, will it be beneficial if I do online courses? Will it be helpful for my CV? Absolutely, it will be helpful. But again, make sure that you are not doing online courses from any website, from any website which doesn't have a lot of credibility. आप ये देखो कि भाई वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो लोग हैं उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के पीछे वो कितने क्रेडिबल हैं, एंड वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के कोर्सेज और कितने लोग ले चुके हैं, राइट? फॉर एग्जांपल आई विल टेल यू आवर ओन एग्जांपल. मेमो पंडित्स के कोर्सेज हमने पहले 2500 लॉ स्टूडेंट्स पे टेस्ट किए विद मतलब जब हमने लोगों को फ्री में पढ़ाया, जब हमने लोगों को बहुत मिनिमल कोर्स पे पढ़ाया, फिर हमने एक प्रॉपर एक स्ट्रक्चर्ड कोर्स डेवलप किया. दैट्स व्हाई आफ्टर दोस 2500 पीपल 2-3 more thousand people enrolled for our courses, so that because they had a credibility in mind कि भाई ये लोग बहुत साल से ये काम कर रहे हैं, they know what they're doing. So if you want to do certificate courses, do courses from credible websites and websites which have been making courses, not websites which have been doing something else and suddenly start doing making courses. Sir, during this pandemic, I was unable to do my internship due under any advocate or NGO, and I only did an online internship, which was mere article writing, case analysis, and blog writing. So, will it create any problem to me further, as I have not done that good internship which I was supposed to do as law student? It's fine. See, the pandemic has been very hard on all of us. So of course I understand कि यार किसी ने इस टाइम का बिल्कुल optimally usage किया होगा, कुछ लोग नहीं कर पाए होंगे because of certain reasons. किसी के they had other priorities like their family, friends, or it could be anything else. So don't worry कि आप worry too much कि भाई आपने past में आपने इतना time waste कर दिया. Again, live in the present. आपको लगता है कि आपने अपनी ऑनलाइन इंटर्नशिप अच्छे से नहीं की है, तो नाउ ट्राई टू फाइंड एन ऑनलाइन इंटर्नशिप जो आप सोचोगे कि भाई ये खत्म करने के बाद आई विल बी सेटिस्फाइड. आई एम फाइनली अ स्टूडेंट डूइंग LLB कोर्स. I want to learn legal agreement and contract drafting. That is amazing, Nupur. I wish you all the best. आप प्लीज लीगल और ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ड्राफ्टिंग के कोर्सेज, आई थिंक लॉ सीखो काफ़ी एक अच्छी वेबसाइट है, has been doing good work for some time, so you can probably get their contract drafting course. It's really good. Pankaj as written, अभी के टाइम में जो वेबिनार अटेंड कर रहे हैं पार्टिसिपेंट्स को वेबिनार का टॉपिक तो ये डू यू थिंक सच ई सर्टिफिकेट्स विल इंक्रीज द वेटेज इन सीवी? अगेन पंकज, आपने बहुत सही तरीके से पॉइंट आउट किया है कि बहुत सारे वेबिनार्स आजकल हो रहे हैं जिनमें बस वो हो रहे हैं, राइट, एंड देयर इज अ फ्लड ऑफ वेबिनार्स, दैट इज एब्सोल्युटली ट्रू, बट अगेन यू हैव टू चूज व्हाट you want. अगर आप इस वेबिनार में आज क्यों आए? Because you wanted to learn something about internships, about TPOs, right? So your aim should not ultimately be getting the e-certificate. Your aim should ultimately be कि भाई जो स्पीकर है उसने जो बोला उससे मेरा कोई जिंदगी में फायदा होगा या नहीं होगा. सर्टिफिकेट लेना इज ऑफ कोर्स कहीं ना कहीं मैं मानता हूँ 10-20% इंपॉर्टेंट रहता है. तो अगर आपको उसका ई सर्टिफिकेट मिल रहा है, आप अपने सीवी में डालो, डेफिनेटली आपको हेल्पफुल होगा. बट आपके पास अगर कोई ऐसी चीज है जो उससे भी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट आप लिख सकते हो, जैसे अगर आपने कोई सर्टिफिकेट कोर्स किया कहीं से, तो डेफिनेटली आप उसकी जगह वो लिख सकते हो अगर आपके पास शॉर्टेज है आपके सीवी में स्पेस स्पेस की. ओके, इंस्टाग्राम लिंक प्लीज. ओके, आई एम राइटिंग आवर इंस्टाग्राम पेज लिंक. Okay, let me go back to the questions. कहाँ रह गए इतने सारे क्वेश्चन? कोई बात नहीं, मैं सब आंसर करूंगा, चिंता मत करो. Being a non-NLU student, it is really difficult to understand and participate in moot courts. If one should want to perform at international, what should be the approach? Deepika, it is for students like you that we have started Memo Pundits. Memo Pundits is an organization which has been helping. It's the oldest and most trusted mooting school of India. We have taught over 5,000 law students on how to moot, okay, and then how to win in moots and how to ace moots like national moots, international moots like Jessa. So Deepika, I'm just going to send you the link of our course which we have. Please contact me immediately after this webinar and I will help you out understand how you can change your mooting perspective entirely. Okay. Is there any advantage of writing articles, writing blog articles, blog internships? Absolutely, yaar. Articles likhna, blog internships karna increases your drafting skills. And the three most essential skills which a lawyer needs are drafting, formatting and argumentation, जो आपका oral argumentation होता है. सो आपकी ब्लॉग राइटिंग से फर्स्ट जो होती है ड्राफ्टिंग वाली स्किल बहुत ज्यादा इंप्रूव होती है, तो इट्स एब्सोल्युटली यूजफुल. ओके, परिस्मिता हैज रिटन शी वांट्स माय ईमेल आईडी. आई एम गोइंग टू ड्रॉप माय ईमेल आईडी हियर, जस्ट अ सेकंड. दिस इज आवर यूनियन कोर्स एंड this is our email ID. Okay. Now the next question. Where is the next question? Hello sir, I'm in third year. I haven't written any research papers as such. How do I start writing? Is there a format to follow? In fact, Raksha, I can't announce this officially, but we have thought of starting a course on how to write research papers, because हमें ये क्वेश्चन बहुत बार आता है हम जब लॉ स्टूडेंट होते हैं, राइट? तो डोंट वरी, होपफुली वी विल बी आउट विद दिस कोर्स इन अ मंथ और टू's टाइम. टिल देन व्हाट आई कैन सजेस्ट यू टू डू इज, आप गूगल पे अगर आप ये लिखोगे कि मेथोडोलॉजी ऑफ राइटिंग अ रिसर्च पेपर्स, ट्राई टू go and look for the top rated links, ठीक है? और ये लिंक्स होंगे यूनिवर्सिटीज लाइक ऑक्सफोर्ड, कैम्ब्रिज, इन सब के भी लिंक्स आपको मिलेंगे. उससे आपको आइडिया मिल जाएगा कि हाउ टू अप्रोच रिसर्च पेपर्स. I'm a second year aspirant. I've done 2 internships in lockdown, but none of them are known law firms. Is it a disadvantage? No, it's not a disadvantage. अगर आपने known law firms में की होती तो it would have been better, but it's not going to be that big a problem, ठीक है? क्यों it आइडियली बस क्या होना चाहिए कि आपने कुछ किया है, इसका आंसर यस होना चाहिए. ठीक है, अब इसमें अगर आप लॉ फर्म करते हो तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, सॉरी अच्छी लॉ फर्म करते हो तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, थोड़ी कम नोन लॉ फर्म करते हो तो इट्स नॉट लाइक कि आपने बिल्कुल अपना टाइम वेस्ट कर दिया है. टाइम वेस्ट उसने किया है जिसने कुछ भी नहीं किया है, और इसलिए नहीं किया है बिकॉज वो लेजी है, बिकॉज वो नेटफ्लिक्स कर रहा था पूरे टाइम, इंस्टाग्राम कर रहा था, अपने दोस्तों के साथ चिल मार रहा था. वैसे लोगों का फ्यूचर थोड़ा ब्लीक है, आपका नहीं, आपका फ्यूचर बिल्कुल ब्राइट है. Okay, what should be the approach or basic skills one should possess to get internship under tier one law firm? Okay, as I just told you, Deepika, drafting skills, formatting skills, and argumentation skills. These three are the skills which any law firm looks at when they interview you in, for your employment, for your PPO, right? So internship के टाइम पे भी आपके CV में ये चीजें रिफ्लेक्ट होनी चाहिए. अगर आप मूट कोर्ट कॉम्पिटिशन करते हो तो आर्ग्यूमेंटेशन स्किल्स आपकी आ जाती हैं, ठीक है, दिखती हैं कि भाई आपको अच्छे से आर्ग्यू करना आता है. अगर रिसर्च पेपर्स होते हैं तो पता चल जाता है अच्छा ये ड्राफ्टिंग ये ढंग से कर सकता है, फॉर्मेट भी ये ढंग से कर सकता है, राइट. और जनरल आपका एकेडमिक एक्सपीरियंस दिखाता है एक्सपर्टीज ओवर सब्जेक्ट एरिया, विच इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो दीज आर द थिंग्स विच you should be focusing on if you want to get internship in a tier 1 law firm. Sir, can you please give some advice for interview calls? Definitely. So interview calls मैं आपको एक अभी बताता हूँ. I just held at least 10-15 interview calls अभी 4-5 दिन पहले when we were hiring some learning and development consultants for Memo Pundits. Interviews में आपको सबसे पहली चीज जो याद रखनी है ना, कि आपसे जो क्वेश्चंस पहली बार पूछे जाते हैं वो आउट ऑफ द ब्लू नहीं पूछे जाते, ठीक है. आपको क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाएंगे आपकी सीवी से. तो आप आपके अगर सीवी में लिखा हुआ है कि दैट यू हैव वर्कड फॉर दिस फर्म and my work was in the energy sector area, or I worked on this litigation matter जिसमें बेल की बात हुई थी, then if you have written this you should know everything about a bail matter or an energy matter. Whatever respective things which you have written in your CV, you should be able to answer every question related to that. So जब आप अपना CV बना लो, make a questionnaire list कि क्या क्या possible questions interview पूछ सकता है और उसका answer की एक list भी बनाओ, and that is going to be your preparation for any interview call. Okay, so those who are preparing for judiciary, where and when they should do internships. Okay, so again अगर आप सोच रहे हो कि आपको जुडिशरी करनी है, इनफैक्ट मैं बताता हूँ, आई नो एटलीस्ट 10 to 15 सिटिंग जजेस राइट नाउ जो अभी डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट्स में हैं, who have cleared judiciary, and they all of them have interned at least 5-6 times in their entire law school. इंटर्नशिप करने का अगेन ऑब्वियसली जुडिशरी जब आप करते हो तो इंटर्नशिप आपका सर्टिफिकेट हैज नो वैल्यू, बट द इंटर्नशिप एक्सपीरियंस हैज अ लॉट ऑफ वैल्यू. आप जब इंटर्नशिप कर रहे होते हो, मान लो आप एडवोकेट के अंडर डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट में इंटर्नशिप कर रहे हो, जुडिशरी में प्रोसीजरल लॉज लाइक सीपीसी सीआरपीसी दे मैटर अ लॉट. और अगर आप एडवोकेट के अंडर इंटर्नशिप कर रहे हो डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट में, तो आपका सीआरपीसी जैसी चीजें बिल्कुल सॉलिडली प्रिपेयर हो सकती हैं, right? So doing internships would be beneficial, and you can try doing mostly under advocates. For judiciary people, doing internships under advocates would be more beneficial. When you should do internships for your judiciary, fifth year में try to focus only on judiciary, ठीक है. उससे पहले अपनी 4 से 5 इंटर्नशिप्स कंप्लीट करने की कोशिश करो, प्रेफरेबली बिटवीन सेकंड, थर्ड, फोर्थ ईयर. Can you please elaborate the nature of work between LPO and law firm? बिल्कुल. And which one would be lesser hill to climb? Okay, LPOs का full form by the way is legal processing outsourcing or law processing outsourcing. इसका मतलब क्या होता है कि LPOs first of all their pay is less as compared to a law firm. The biggest difference which you need to know. LPOs में the work hours are less hectic as compared to a law firm. LPOs में but the growth perspective is also less than law firms. It's just like low risk, low reward is an LPO. High risk, high reward is a law firm, right? So अगर आपको कल को पार्टनर बनना ही बनना है, आपको 7 साल बाद 1 करोड़ रुपए कमाने ही कमाने हैं हर साल, तो your aim should be a law firm. But at the same time, do remember आपको बीपी के इश्यूज, आपको कोलेस्ट्रॉल के इश्यूज, आपको हाइपरटेंशन ये होने की प्रोबेबिलिटी बहुत ज्यादा है. बट अगर आप एलपीओ में हो प्रोबेबिलिटी कम हो जाएगी. वाई? बिकॉज इट्स हाई रिस्क, सॉरी लो रिस्क लो रिवॉर्ड. आप हो सकता है 1 करोड़ ना कमाओ, बट आप 30-40 लाख 6 साल बाद 7 साल बाद आराम से कमा सकते हो. और आपकी लाइफ बहुत चिल होगी एज कम्पेयर टू अ लॉ फर्म. सो यू हैव टू डिसाइड व्हाट यू वांट. Okay, I actually didn't see JLSR and Legal Fumes have sent the Instagram links of all the 3 pages. Thank you so much, guys. This is very helpful. Where to do the certificate courses from? Okay, Ritika, although Ritika has left, certificate courses again, ऐसी websites, ऐसे institutions से करो जो credible हैं. For example, so what we try to do at Memo Pundits is we try to focus on activities like memorial making, moot court competitions, research papers. So I can vouch for my organization at least. And then there are a couple of more organizations which help you. I'm not sure if Legal Fumes and JLSR, if they have a course, do courses from these websites, because you ultimately would need to do courses from organizations which are वेरी मच इनटू द फील्ड, राइट? अगर ये वेबिनार आज हो रहा है तुम्हारे बेनिफिट के लिए हो रहा है, हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन नहीं कर रही है, बट जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस कर रही है, इट मींस दैट दे आर सीरियस अबाउट लॉ स्टूडेंट्स. सो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हिच organizations have that kind of a perspective. What is the right time for applying for internships, whether in law firms or NGOs? So I told this in the slides, I'll tell this to you again. NGOs first year, law firms second, third year, advocates also second, third year, and third, fourth, fifth year just do what, like one of these things, either NGOs, either law firms, either advocates, जो आपको सबसे ज्यादा पसंद आया हो. अगर आपको थोड़ा और टाइम चाहिए, फोर्थ ईयर और ले लो एक्सप्लोर करने के. How to draft an email while applying for an internship? Okay, so Saurabh, actually मैंने अभी जो फाइल भेजी थी कुछ टाइम पहले रेज्यूमे एंड कवर लेटर पे, उसमें कवर लेटर वाला जो पार्ट है, that will answer to your question entirely. Sir, can you suggest some of the law firms which are related to artificial intelligence and law? Yes, one of the law firms is Scribboard. I'll just write. There's this. दो हैं actually. Scribboard and Metacept. Actually, one of my friends is working here. Scribboard and Metacept. You can try. They work with IPR and artificial intelligence is one of the things which they also look at. Which one is the best book for OJS? OJS is what? Odisha Judicial Services. Sneha Mohapatra. Okay, I'm guessing this is Odisha Judiciary Services. I may not be able to tell you specifically कि state के लिए क्या आपको चाहिए होगा, but what I can tell you is कि आपको 5 subjects पे बहुत ज़्यादा ध्यान देना होता है जब भी आप judiciary पे की preparation कर रहे हो. CRPC, CPC, Evidence Law, then I think Constitution and IPC, right? So इन सारे subjects पे तो definitely ध्यान दो. इसके अलावा भी state wise depend करेगा कि आप कौन से subject पे आपको जाना चाहिए. Sir, what are the good law websites where we can find events which are worth? Okay, Manushri, in fact, I would recommend our own website, or even I think JLSR would be able to better tell you if they have. I think they have a website where they post about what events are upcoming. So go with websites जहाँ पे kachari.in. Yes, exactly. So kachari.in जैसे I'm following this website for quite some time. They don't post irrelevant things. I see a lot of these big websites today जो बस ads हो रहे हैं, उसमें इधर उधर के चीजें आ रही हैं, but kachari.in is making a genuine effort to bring out things which are relevant to law students. ठीक है? So my personal opinion is also kachari.in, right? So even I have a एरिया ऑन माई वेबसाइट मेमो पंडित्स जहाँ पे हम कुछ इवेंट्स पोस्ट करते हैं, बट हम सिर्फ मूट कोर्ट रिलेटेड और ऐसे इवेंट्स पोस्ट करते हैं जिसमें हम मीडिया पार्टनर्स हों. सो इन दैट केस आई वुड डेफिनेटली सजेस्ट कि अगर आपको एक होलिस्टिक पर्सपेक्टिव चाहिए, kacheri.in is the place to go. Okay, so SP Verma are senior aged persons hired by law firms. Sir, if you can please tell me कि आपका experience क्या है, then I would be able to sort of tell you more. क्योंकि again senior aged persons ऐसा कोई it's not a taboo कि भाई senior aged persons को law firms में नहीं लेंगे. But अगर आप senior aged हो और आपके पास एक्सपीरियंस है किसी पर्टिकुलर सेक्टर का, तो आप ज्यादा वैल्यूड हो सकते हो, बिल्कुल हो सकते हो. अगर आपके पास एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है कुछ भी, तो इट माइट बी डिफिकल्ट. देन यू माइट नीड टू स्टार्ट विद अ लो पेइंग जॉब और probably with a voluntary job, and then use that experience for a higher paying job. Okay, so actually I just realized the Instagram link which I had sent was sent only to that person. I'm posting it for the last time. Okay, so guys, that's it. You guys should follow us on Instagram. I've sent the link. JLSR और Legal Fumes का भी link ऊपर है. I'm very thankful to all of you who have joined. I hope that this session was useful. आपको ये समझ में आया हो कि practical things matter a lot just than quantity कि भाई कितनी internships करनी चाहिए, या फिर quality over quantity. That's my agenda. So I hope everybody took something from this webinar, and probably you guys would apply something apply something worthwhile in the future. And I hope the best of luck for all of you, to all of you. So that's about it. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, JLSR and Legal Fumes. This was a lovely session. If anybody has missed this session, if they want to replay it, I'm sure that Legal Fumes or JLSR is going to post it on one of their YouTube platforms or somewhere, or Facebook or something. So
sorry for the interruption. So already the recording is available in JLSR Journal YouTube channel.
Perfect. So you can probably leave a link here if for the benefit, they can share it with their friends. Right, so that's all. Thank you so much. If you have questions for me directly from me, you can ask questions on our Instagram page or through our email ID, which is contact@memopundits.com. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I'm going to leave the meeting now. Thank you so much, Legal Fumes and JLSR.
Thank you so much, sir.